Hi, I'm Brooks Whittington with halfwheel.com. Today we're taking a look at the Lotus Jaws V Cutter. Now, this V Cutter is the second time that Lotus has released a Jaws cutter. The first time was a straight cut that they released in 2015. This one was released in 2016 at the IPCPR show. There's quite a few differences between the two, starting with the fact that the V Cutter is quite a bit lighter and thinner due to the construction. The first cutter was made with an all metal body. This one actually is made with aluminum and zinc, which gives it quite a bit less heft. Weighs about 13 grams less actually. Second difference is the fact that it's been redesigned. Now, some of that is necessary because it's a V cutter as opposed to a straight cutter. But it also, the finger holes have been redesigned so that they're more round, oval, as opposed to triangular. There's 4 different colors in this new one as opposed to 6 in the old one. 4 colors are black on black, chrome on chrome, black and red, and black and gold. Last main difference is the fact that it costs a little bit more, about 33% more, $39.95 as opposed to $29.99 for the original. Now, I've used this cutter for quite a while, about 3 months, and I can tell you that it is a very good cutter. It cuts cigars extremely well. The serrated edges are extremely noticeable when you open the cutter. They're not going to give you a serrated cut. If you're wondering about that, you're going to be disappointed if you're wanting that. It's a straight cut. It just gives you, supposedly it gives you a little bit more control. I didn't find that was necessarily the case. In fact, I think I prefer a regular cut in terms of the blade instead of serrated, but it's not enough to make that big of a difference when you're actually cutting cigars. Now, the good things about this very quickly is, first of all, the weight. Very, very light. Very easy to carry around. You don't have to worry about putting in your pocket, things like that. You're not going to notice it in as much. Secondly, it is made extremely well. The exterior finish is not going to chip or anything like that. There is one small chip that I had, but that was after 3 months, and I abused it trying to actually get it to get a little bit of a problem. I don't think anybody who buys this is going to be disappointed with how it looks after using it with normal use. It also doesn't have any problem with fingerprints or anything of that nature. The holes actually are easier to use and have either give you a little bit more control, the redesign in that regard. Bad things about it. There are a few things. First of all, the actual blade, because of the way that it's built, it does sometimes get tobacco stuck in the blades as well as in the cutter itself. It's not that big of a deal, but it is something that gets kind of annoying if you continue to use it over and over again. Another thing is the fact that it is more expensive than the original cutter. It's not substantially more expensive, but it's something that you should be aware of if you're going to buy it. Third is the idea that I told you lighter is a good thing, and it is when you're carrying it around. The problem is that it also does not, because it is lighter, it doesn't give you as much control over the cut when you're actually putting it in there. It gives you a little bit less control in terms of the balance of the cutter itself, meaning you have to push the cigar cap harder against the actual cutter to cut it and get a real straight cut, as opposed to just letting the cutter itself do a little bit of that work. Now, the cutter itself is very easy to use. Open it up. It only has one track as opposed to the original cutter, which actually had 2 of them. Both of them opened up. This only has one. You open it up, but you put your fingers through the holes, obviously. You take a cigar, you put it in, you hold it, there we go. All right, you hold it right there and then push through. Easy, straight, and it gives you a nice cut. Very clean in terms of typically where you're doing that. The problem is, as you can see, is the tobacco. So a little bit comes out. Not all of it stays in there. Some of it does. If all of it stayed in there, it'd be one thing, but it doesn't. So it's something you have to be aware of when you're cutting. It's going to come out. Just put it over the ground if you're outside, or put it over an ashtray if you're cutting it there. In the end, it's a very good cigar cutter. I enjoyed it immensely. I'm not sure that I would use it over a regular V-cut instead of this one, but it's good enough to buy, and certainly is worth the money that you pay for it. For halfwheel.com, I'm Brooks Whittington. Check out the rest of our reviews on halfwheel.com.